round 13, chain 4, slip stitch into the same stitch, which is the top of the chain 2, skip the next stitch, which is a crossed double crochet, and we will do a double crochet in 3 stitches. Skip the next stitch and double crochet, one, two, three, and we'll go back and do a double crochet. This skip stitch, we will go in there and we'll do a double crochet. Okay, so the double crochet is crossing over 3 double crochets, so the 4th is going to cross over them. Slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 4, slip stitch into the same stitch, we will skip the next stitch and do double crochets. Skip, double crochet in 3 stitches, and double crochet in the skipped stitch, which we have here. I highly recommend following the written pattern. You can find that for free on the blog Crafter, so that you can follow along and do the repetitions as well. Once that's done, we're going to repeat from the slip stitch. Slip stitch into the next stitch, chain 4, slip stitch into the same stitch, and skip the next stitch, double crochet in 3 stitches. This is the next stitch, 1, 2, 3, double crochet. And in the skip stitch, we'll go back there and cross all over. Yep. Slip stitch into the next stitch. So that's what we're going to do. Slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 4, slip stitch into the same stitch, then skip the next stitch, double crochet in 3 stitches, and double crochet into the skip stitch to cross over the 3 DCs. Slip stitch in the next stitch, chain 4, slip stitch in the same stitch, skip 1, 3 double crochet in skip stitch. Alright, so we're going to repeat that. Okay, after the last crossed double crochet, there's one last stitch left, so we will slip stitch in that. We've chained 1 and we will skip the first, chain 4. Now we have our 4 DCs here, 3 DCs and the crossed one. So around the first rather, we'll make a front post double crochet. Now this is round 14. Front post, chain 1, skip the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch. There's one more stitch here, we will skip it and into the chain 4 we'll do 3 double crochets. Front post double crochet around the next stitch. Chain 1, skip 1 stitch, half double crochet into the next, skip the next stitch, 3 double crochets into the chain 4 space. Okay, we repeat the sequence. Front post double crochet, chain 1, skip the next stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, skip the next stitch, 3 double crochets into the chain 4 space. Okay, we'll repeat that around. So in the next, front post double crochet, around the first stitch, the next stitch rather, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, half double crochet into the next stitch, 3 double crochets rather into the chain 4 space. So go ahead and repeat it. Front post double crochet, chain 1, skip 1 stitch, half double crochet, skip the next stitch, 3 double crochets into chain 4 space. So at the end of row 14 we have the last half double crochet. Yeah, the last half double crochet is done, and we're going to make 3 double crochet. Remember, this is the first stitch, this is the first chain 4 we made at the beginning of the round. Now we're going to go in there and make 3 double crochets into the very first chain 4 we made at the beginning of the round. Once that is done, this is our first stitch, FPDC, we'll slip stitch in there, we'll join, chain 2, skip 1, 2, 3. Remember that this FPDC is the first stitch from round 14, so we're counting the skip 1, 2, 3, and around this first double crochet in here we will do FPTR, front post treble crochet, and in the first skip stitch, which is this FPDC, we'll do another FPTR. Once that is done, in the next stitch we will do a 5DC bubble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, chain 1, skip 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, this is chain 1, it counts as a stitch. We'll do FPTR around the 4th stitch, around the 5th one rather. So this is how it works. The front post that we'll do, the first FPTR that we will do will always be around the first double crochet that we made into the chain 4 loop. So we have 3 double crochets here. So around the first one, we'll always make the FPTR, and around this second skip stitch, the front post double crochet from round 14, we will make the crossed FPTR. So skip 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and FPTR. Too much gap. And around the second skip stitch, which is the FPTC, do another FPTR. In the next stitch, 5 DC bubble. Chain 1. And repeat. Skip 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, FPTR. Around the second skip stitch, FPTR. In the next stitch, 5 DC bubble. Chain 1. Okay, so that's what we're going to repeat. Skip 4 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4. Front post treble crochet around the next one. Front post treble crochet around the second skip stitch, which is the FBDC from round 14. 5 DC bubble in the next stitch, which is the middle stitch from that group of double crochets in here. Okay, we're ending round 15 with chain 1 after the bubble stitch, and then chain 1. Chain 1, join into the first stitch. Chain 2, half double crochet. Chain 1, half double crochet in between the bubble stitch and the crossed TCs. Chain 1, half double crochet in that chain 1 space. Chain 1, half double crochet in between these two. So what we're doing is when we chain 1, our stitches go in between each of in between the bubble and crossed TCs. Chain 1, half double crochet between these two. Chain 1, half double crochet and chain 1 space. Chain 1, half double crochet in between bubble and crossed TCs. Chain 1, half double crochet in chain 1 space. Chain 1, half double crochet in between TC, cross TC and bubble. So repeat that around. On round 16, so we have the chain HDC chain 1 and into the last stitch here, last chain I made, half double crochet and join to the first half double crochet that we made at the beginning of the round. Round 17. Okay, for this size you can stop on round 16 for a child size. Then we want to continue to extend the round for the adult. So into the very first into our chain 1 space here, we'll make 2 double crochets. Remember, this pattern does not follow a rhyme, so we're not chaining anything here. 2 double crochets in chain 1 space, and we will slip stitch into the next chain 1 space. Now in the next chain 1, we'll make 4 double crochets. You might want to place a stitch marker into the very first stitch here, so that you know where you started from. And into the next chain 1 space, slip stitch, 4 double crochets, in the next chain 1, slip stitch, in the next 4 double crochets, in the next, slip stitch. So that's what you repeat around. 4 double crochets in chain 1 space, slip stitch into the next chain 1 space. Okay, after the last slip stitch in the chain 1 space, we're going to make 2 double crochets into the space here, right here, where we made the first 2 double crochets. Join to the first double crochet on the round. Chain 1, triple crochet into this last stitch here on round 17. The last double crochet, because we made 2, so the second one, we'll just go back and work a triple crochet. Alright, chain 1, skip the next stitch, and okay, we have 2 stitches where we join, so we're skipping these 2 stitches, and we'll do a spike DC into the chain 1 space. Alright, the chain 1 space from the previous 2 rounds, that is 17, 16, the chain 1 space on round 16. So chain 1 again, skip 1, 2 stitches, triple crochet, and triple crochet into this second skipped stitch. So we're doing crossed triple crochets. Chain 1, spike DC. So you want your DC to be a bit tall, loose, not too tight. Alright, chain 1, skip 2 stitches. You're going to make a crossed TC. Chain 1, spike, TC. Okay, note that these TCs are worked into, because we have 4 double crochet stitches here, so the TCs are worked in the two center double crochets that we have here. So we're going to repeat that. Chain 1, skip 1, 2. Okay, after the last cross TCs on round 18, we'll make chain 1 and then spike DC, chain 1, and then we have this TC we made at the beginning of the round, which we made in the last stitch. Now we're going to make our TC last treble crochet into the very first double crochet on round 17. And we're going to join it into the first stitch. We are almost done, and we're on to the last round. If you made it this far, thumbs up, thumbs up. Thumbs up. Well done. All right, so we're gonna make 2 half double crochets into the chain 1 space here. Let's chain 1, 2 half double crochets. Now front post double crochet around this spike DC. Half double crochet into the chain 1. Skip this crossed DCs. 2 half double crochets. Front post double crochet. 1 half double crochet. Skip the TCs. So that's what we're going to repeat. We're going to repeat 2 half double crochets, front post double crochet, 1 half double crochet into each of the spaces, and the spike DC. And we're ending with the last half double crochet stitch. Join to the first half double crochet stitch, and you are done. Woo, 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 woo. You made it to the end. Well, I know that this must have been challenging, but I am super proud of you that you made it to the end. And I mean, this is a really gorgeous design with all the texture, and you know, you just take your time and do it. And don't forget, before you leave, subscribe to Crafter, and check out the color block beanie for men. It's a tutorial you can make for boys. It's in 3 sizes, so check it out as well. Subscribe to Crafter, and you know, give us a comment and give us a like as well. And I'll see you around.